There are only 2 matches left in the group stage, and at this point in the game, 9 playdays in, you'd think this was all buttoned up, but no, this is the match that decides it all. With that final playoff spot, one of these 2 teams are going to claim it. Jonas Willinger here with Foxay and Laxing, and this one, boys, is quite simple. It is Wildcard and Orgless, and we'll tell you, the condition is this. You win, and you're in. If Wildcard take the win in regulation, in overtime, they'll go to the playoffs, and that is the same situation for Orgless. Foxay, this is the kind of match that you dream of. It's one that you don't get very often. You have a chance to win a game and make the playoffs, something you've been looking to do all stage long.
And here's the situation, to put it bluntly. Orgless has only been looking better going into the Super Week. Wildcard hasn't really looked good since the start of the stage. But the one thing that we can't forget is the pressure. Wildcard's been on that stage at Reload. Orgless, still brand new rookie team. Playing with this amount of pressure can affect everything.
Well, Wildcard, they are coming off a dominant win yesterday. This is the perfect amount of momentum that you want going into the game for all the marbles, so to speak.
Yes.
A great time for that.
And I love that you talk about the pressure, Fox, because that was definitely even in their card yesterday. They had to get that win, and they did it so convincingly. And to already just talk about this team as a whole, they have everything in their power to make it work. When you looked at this game yesterday, they were elusive. They were decisive on how they were approaching Envy in terms of knowing what to do on these attacks, exposing those gaps, exploiting Envy in so many of the scenarios throughout this entire game. Sure, we didn't want to hype them up. We were hyping up in the beginning with Reload, and then it was falling off. But this is the team that we were seeing in Reload. They were quick. They were fast to adapt. They understood the game plan, and they did it so well yesterday and so convincingly that it was a statement game. Now coming in today, there's no excuses. There's no what ifs. There's no I should have. There's no I wish it could have happened differently. Everything needs to be perfect. Everything is on the line.
This is, like I said, a player's dream. But at the same time, for Orgless, they have also had a tremendous improvement over the last few days. Over this Super Week, it's been a great time to heat up.
I mean, Orgless has only gotten better. Throughout the whole stage, we've been seeing amazing individual performances, but finally, they just needed a little bit of momentum under them, something to light the fire behind them that would make them play that much better. That win against Cloud9 to set it all off into the Super Week. They played him, they beat him. From there, they slam Envy, and then they bring it toe-to-toe with M80, a team that at the start of the stage, we wouldn't have even had them in the same conversation, but it kept it close, and M80 even gave the respect to them. They played it so well off of being able to understand how we're gonna win, the win condition. And even if it doesn't go right, they were focusing on correcting it and making it right the second time around.
Well, you mentioned M80 respecting Orgless. Gunnar, in his interview, Lax, said they are not as bad as people think. Like, this is a good team that's going to play well. I mean, when it's coming from your opponents, that does mean quite a bit at this stage in the game.
Yeah, it definitely does. And again, from what we've been seeing from Orgless, they have been looking significantly better with each and every single game. And again, going against M80, I didn't want to write them off. I thought that that was going to be a good game, and it sure enough gave. We see time and time again, Orgless just getting far better on their attacks and their defenses. They're playing far better together. And again, when you're in a situation now, everything's on the line. You need to be perfect. The best case scenario is you're improving with each and every single game up until this last very game where you lay it all on the line. You have nothing to look back at. You are putting it all first forward.
Now the question is, where do you want to take a game of this level, right? You need, I mean, to look back at your own schedule and say, how have we played against teams like this in the past, and where can we exploit that?
I mean, I think LFO, they obviously have shown that they've been righting the mistakes, and I'm glad you brought up that they've been getting on better on their defenses, because that's where we saw them keep it very close against M80. They actually were able to understand what went wrong in a previous M80 attack and then correct it. M80 goes for the plant, they get it down. Look at this retake. They understand, okay, we have to retake, we need top floor control. They go through it, get the pick, get an amazing pick on the player outside. Unfortunately, they just didn't know where hot and cold was. They mismanaged a 2v1. But immediately after, they understand, okay, well, we would have won this if we just would have coordinated it a little bit better to figure out where the final player was. They then go back to the exact same site in round 11. They decide to change things up a little bit. Instead of retaking and playing from the top floor, they instead play downstairs for hard denial, for retake from the basement floor. And that's where we see all of the picks come through. They read M80, understanding that M80 was going to go plant in the different site as opposed to mining. and they play off of the pulse for the information. They get all of the retakes, shots through the floor. They beautifully bring it back, and that's the kind of adaptation that we need to see from a team like Orgless that doesn't have any veteran leadership. We talk about it. They don't have a veteran player or a veteran IGL. They got Bino, his first stage in the NAL, and for them to be able to understand it in a round, pretty much a round apart, and be able to identify what they need to do exactly against a team like M80. I mean, it says a lot about the amount of improvement that they've been doing, because at the start of the stage, this was not an LFO that we saw, but now it's only been up and up for them.
Well, how do you make those kind of pretty dramatic strides as a new IGL to the game? I mean, you're coming in and trying to lead a team to success against the best teams in North America. That's not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination.
It's not, but you got to come together as a team. I mean, it's not just on Bino. It's on every single player individually identifying where things are going right and where things are going wrong and coming together. And I think that's really been the breaking point for this roster to push past, get over that hurdle, and finding far more success is that they do have an understanding where things are going wrong and what they can do to correct it. And again, Fox displayed it perfectly from one round prior where they got overzealous, then to immediately identifying what they needed to do to bring it back.
Well, Cafe still up. There it is. It gets taken off the board. The map we were talking about, Fox, with those retakes. We won't see that, which means it is
I like this.
Clubhouse
I like this personally.
for the playoff decider.
I don't necessarily like Clubhouse. I think it's a good map for both teams. Obviously, it's one of Wildcard's favorite maps coming from Reload throughout the stage. They have not looked like the normal team that we're used to seeing. They've been so sloppy. On a map like this, you're taking those issues away and essentially just forcing you to play off of each other because Clubhouse is so easy. But
I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, I love it. When I'm I'm hyping up Wildcard. They need to be perfect. If there's a map you need to be perfect on, it is Clubhouse. It is so simple that you play your defaults. You play the normal strats. You need to be perfect. You can't make the mistakes because that's where a team is going to capitalize on top of you. And then on top of it, you're playing a team like Orgless. You bring them to a map like Clubhouse, they aren't going to pull anything out on you. You are keeping it so simple that it just comes down to the basic fundamentals of Siege. So it makes perfect sense that this is where we're going to end it here. And I am so excited for Wildcard to be able to just show us some life from their game yesterday into today, and then same for Orgless. This is an even playing field, and we really will see who is the better team. I'm
with you, Laxing, and I'm Foxy. I don't mean to put you kind of on your own in a corner
I'm not
here.
with you guys.
I mean, listen, Clubhouse, you've got that structured Siege, that fundamentals emphasized. That's got to be refreshing, almost, I don't know, freeing for both of these lineups in a way.
I mean, yeah, it's a great playing ground for both players, but obviously Wildcard is going to Clubhouse because they have issues. They're trying to take those issues out of the equation because it's a map that is simple. You can do the basics on it. You're taking a team that has no veteran leadership to a map like Clubhouse. These are ranked stars all together. Of course they're going to be able to play very well. We've already seen their discipline when they played against Envy on it. So when you go to a map like Clubhouse, it just shows me, okay, Wildcard is running away from their problems, whereas LFO is standing there ready to face them head on.
Take this into a scenario. You're Wildcard. You're the more experienced team here. You talk about pressure. Where do teams usually find their success? It's in pressure, being experienced. You're Wildcard starting on defense here. You're Orgless starting on attack, where we've talked about it 100 times. You win off your attacks here.
Yes,
if
100%.
you're in Orgless, you can't find success on Clubhouse. You're already in your own mental game of not being able to find your stride, where you need to be perfect, where you're Wildcard sitting pretty on a defense, where you know that you can not only win the mental game, but you're going to win inside the server when you switch to your attacks because you have a successful defense if you win that mental game already. That's why it makes so much sense that they're allowing Clubhouse.
But couldn't you also say the vice versa of LFO?
But you talked about the pressure, though. You talked about the pressure.
I do agree with
and
the pressure.
They know what pressure is.
But we've seen LFO get the discipline down. We've seen them be able to adapt. If there's another obstacle of pressure that they can overcome to show that they've been growing as a leader, it'll be displayed right now.
The predictions speak for itself right now.
All right, we heard it. We're passionate here on the desk and clearly have a difference of opinion. Let's see what the casters think. It is you win, you're in. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. And frankly, I think Fox is cooking, and Gabe couldn't work his way around a microwave with these takes. I mean, like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Clubhouse is a default map. You both have been having similar issues. Orgless have made improvements. Fox is cooking there, first of all. Second off, Orgless have played Clubhouse this stage, and they beat Envy. Now, I know they beat Envy, but they beat it. They beat Envy, won 3 rounds of the attack, all 4 rounds in the defense, right? Is it great? No, that's a ridiculous percentage. We're going to get to that in a second. That's insane. But then second, it's not the same IGL. Wildcard are on a 7-game losing streak on this map. And that's with Bosco and Spiker IGLing. What are we talking about here? I'm not saying they can't win, but like, come on.
I think looking at it in isolation of this stage, Clubhouse's third preference map for Wildcard. For LFO, it's second pref. They played it once 2 days ago against Envy, and it was a game that they won. And as you mentioned, they did okay. They got 3 rounds on the attack, flawless on the defense. That probably speaks more to Envy's ability to attack than it does to LFO's ability to defend. But it's a default map. Like, I don't know. I don't have much of a problem with the map. Where some of my problems come from is a little bit deeper. I found a real, like, I was going to make this into a meme, but I didn't have the time. But I love this stat line. So Kansan is the only player at the moment that is in the bottom half of the standings, that's in the top 10, top 5 technically, of players inside of North America. He's currently plus 20.
He's so good.
He's like the fox that dresses up as a sheep.
Bro, like... Bro, Kansan is so good. Like, he's so good.
Single-handedly carrying Wildcard in every sense of the word. There is only one other player that's positive, and it's Bay. You've got to go right down to 24.
That's a recent development, by the way.
It is recent, and he's only positive by 1. He's still negative on the entry. He's still only got a 29% survival. Kansan is the only player by far and away. And then even when you look at the side of LFO, to find their highest rated player, you've got to go down to number 21. You're looking at Eddie at plus 3. And again, that's fairly recent based off Eddie's performance the other day.
Look at that.
How does he get, speaking of Kansan and Eddie, by the way.
Like, literally look at that. How has he killed Fens?
The mechanical skill is insane.
Like, this guy's the GOAT. How has he been on, like, he's been a wild card for 2 years, and he's always been like this. Anyway, Dash looking to make a retake inside a lounge. Him and Bay, 2 of the 3 players on this roam, and Dash will find 1. It's a clean advantage for Wildcard now. Orgless disrespecting this roam a little bit. Ooh, kicks row. I'll give you credit for getting that kill. But Orgless have had a very loose grip and very loose understanding of this defensive strat from Wildcard. A lot of ratting, a lot of roaming. Now one
We
spot.
still have rats upstairs.
I mean, literally.
Oh, look at this. This
Easy.
is beautiful.
Done.
Full HP. No danger.
And
You don't
not a
want to take a lot of
sound.
damage.
Not a sound made.
They will likely find the Scopo's shield and destroy that shell quite nicely. Well, this is a position that you would very easily take as a defender on Clubhouse. 50 seconds left. You might have lost 2 bodies, but the defense has also lost 2 bodies. Problem being, Kickstraw's on low HP, and they have nothing to deal with these Vulcan packs. As soon as they get popped, that is just going to start to burn out the time. You've got a Monty, Bino, not on full HP, but he's not too low. Eddie even is softened up. And these angles can just be held. Orgless have to buddy up on this, and they're going to choose Moto for their drop.
And he goes, diffuser in hand. Impact grenade could be problematic for Kixro or Bino, or well, it's actually the bullets that are problematic for everyone. Bay finding a couple nice shots. Make that 3 for Bay at the end of the round. Second highest rated player on Wildcard, putting in quite the performance in round 1.
I think that was a round that was always going to fizzle out based off the way that it started. LFO never having a good handle of the map. All the defenders that were sort of running rampant, let's be honest. They weren't being given too many reasons to be scared. More than happy to take those engagements. If you can't full clear and do a successful roam with 2 shields, like, look at that.
He's so good.
Honestly, I'm surprised Kickstarter got that kill, to be honest. Like, the pre-fire was perfect.
The
I just think the shot
was
placement must have been a
crazy.
little bit better. Oh, Kansas kill was disgusting.
Oh, no, I meant the flick of Kickstarter. He was like looking towards secret.
Oh, right, yeah. I think he was looking secret, wasn't he?
Yeah, just whipped around. Because that was a, oh, I've made a mistake but bailed myself out kind of gunfight right there.
Yeah, I'm now on 1 HP and not useless, but this is going to be a difficult round from here on out.
You're not.
It's an exit frag.
You're not betting the round. Yeah, this is an exit round. I'm the bait. Gym bedroom defense from Wildcard though. Busting out the clash. Didn't talk about the bans by the way. Ace and Hibana, 2 hard breach, and Cade and Mira. Definitely gonna, or could be an issue on this top floor. Not so much for the ranged breach, but more so just the quantity of hard breach sometimes needed, and especially with a bandit on the board, you can sometimes meet resistance-wise. And as you can see, Orgless is going to bring a lot of can openers as a result on top of the thermite. Those can be a little finicky.
Yeah, they're going quite heavy on the hard breach. Sometimes when you see like a double hard breach ban, it'll kind of bait out the attack just to use tin openers. It's kind of something I commented on at the top of the day in the SR game. How they're very good at bringing just what is required. It's a risk, obviously, because if the utility gets tricked or destroyed, then it can be a bit problematic. Or maybe I can't think of anything that you would rather have. Maybe a smoke on the Monty would be nice. But there is a lot to chew through right now. With that his army being up, Flores drones are destined for those locations, and it's not as easy to displace the bandit. Gym window has been opened, I believe, so surely it starts to get a bit uncomfortable there for the bandit, and he isn't able to trick, but it seems to be causing Orgless a bit of a problem right now.
They did re-keep at that window, and so, ooh,
That's just getting
unfortunately,
tricked.
yeah. So we saw that first Kiba get destroyed, and then Baby Shark put another one on it. Orgless either don't deal with it or don't have anybody watching the window, and then on top of that, it's not just that they put the exothermic on the panel that got electrified, put it in the middle of the wall too. Either way, that's getting shocked. Well, essentially, it's getting shocked.
It just seems a bit lazy, doesn't it? Like, if
Yeah.
you're going to open the wall, at least have someone watching the... if you're going to open the window, at least have somebody watching it. Bino's taking a ton of damage right now, and Kanzan finds himself
Ooh, nice
first
drumroll.
blood inside of round 2. Who's in an early engagement in
Oh,
round
what
1.
the
Clash
hell?
now dancing. But Dash comes to the rescue.
Baby Shark adding insult to injury. Wildcard fully able to just hold on the site now. Dash can even fall back for the C4. Bino down. Is that outside the window? Yeah, he's just retaking Khan. Eddie gets that trade, but Wildcard are really pummeling these attacks from Orgless at the moment. Getting aggressive, not letting any control go uncontested. Eddie on for 3, and it'll likely be impactless, given the trend of this round. Firebolt goes in, tries to flame behind the little gym rack, but there we do see, I believe, somebody rotating below. Oh, nobody actually got the gun out. Eddie will, at the very last second, die. Bit of a lengthy rotation from Bay, but he does land the shots. 2 rounds in a row from Wildcard. And I will say, I did a lot of hyping up Orgless, or I suppose bringing Wildcard expectations back down to earth, but they are not disappointing so far.
No, they're doing very well, aren't they? It was one of those occasions where the diffuser's going down and we've not seen anyone rotate yet, and I do get a little bit antsy when that happens.
Oh, me too.
If we get into like the last quarter of that diffuser going down and know the time's like done, we're in red time or time's 0, and there's no defender immediately, I'm a bit like, what's going on? Because if he comes off the plant and gets a 1-tap, then all of a sudden it starts to get a little bit dicey. But he did manage to pull it out. Dash, a little bit disappointed in you swinging that as the Warden. You are in my fantasy team. If you could not do that, that would be wonderful. But aside from that, no major complaints. Bay is still yet to die in this series, by the way. He's currently got 4 kills. Now we flex over into the CCTV and cash side of things. And with the lineup that Wildcard have, it is going to be very difficult to take into Garage. You've got the Kibas. You've got the ADSs. You've probably got an Aruni gate knocking around on Garage door, maybe. It is not going to be a nice place to try and attack into.
No.
But it could be where Bino is choosing to go. Another main worry here If we think back to how much we saw Orgless struggle previously when they brought 2 tin openers and 1 thermite, in this round, they've got 2 tin openers and a Maverick. That is not a great combination for the amount of stuff that they need to get open here.
No. Concerned no DMRs either. Because what? We got BPs, barbed wire, castle barricades, Kibas, so much utility that need explosives to clear. It's a big concern at the moment, especially with the lack of the DMRs. Minimal nade control, that Flores is going to be strapped for resources. And there might even still be bigger problems to worry about. Dash creeping across the map at the strip door, 1 punch, prone run out. Somebody hears it though, I think? No, Fenz is looking, completely unaware. And if your explosive utility was already rough, there's 3 Rotero drones taken off the board by a couple DMR shots.
Not only that, it's things like actually getting this soft wall open now. Like, what are they going to use? The Rotero drone was kind of required for that part of the plan. It's not like they've got a book. Kickstarter's going to have to rotate around with the super shorty. Okay, so we kind of get it done. It's a bit risky, but it gets the job done, I suppose. We can burn the laser gate now as well and start to get onto the rappel and cut through the site. It doesn't really help you taking garage. It doesn't really help you getting anything further open. This is a very, very sorry march that Bino has to make, and I'm not even sure he's going to get to the top of the stair.
No, I don't know if he will either. I mean, okay, Spiker's got to be a little careful. There is that player at the door, and the Monty will even ADS. A Spiker eager to give up that position. Ooh, just pops up, deals with Epic. Now tangling with the Monty, bobbing and weaving behind the defense's own utility.
Oh!
Pulls out the secondary with a couple quick shots. Little fan of that hammer. And it's now a 5v1 for Wildcard. Gabe is feeling quite confident in his prediction at the moment, because aside from 1 impactless frag, Kickstar has to walk into a 3-way crossfire. 1 to his left, 1 to his right, and the shots come from right up range. 3 in a row for Wildcard. And if we are praising Orgless's attacking side improvements, it is not on this clubhouse, and it is not today.
Let's not forget the stakes of this game. Sorry, I was going to say 3 rounds to 0, but win and you are in. That is what we are playing for right now between Orgless and Wildcard. Thermite comes out to round out a trio of attackers that have been banned. All hard breach has now gone. LFO going to choose this round of banning to extend a little bit into a tactical timeout. For a game that has been made quite difficult for them from the off, it got a bit harder with that Thermite ban, because they have just demonstrated that they cannot get it done when they are stretched so thinly. There is a lot that Wildcard are leveraging right now. LFO really struggling for the answer.
I mean, in some ways, it's not complicated. The hard breaching, totally understand. Especially after the Thermite ban, you're going to be strapped for resources. It's going to be annoying. I totally get that. But ultimately, the hard breaching resources have actually been the one thing Orgless have been bringing consistently. That round, no DMRs. All of our explosives are in the hands of the Flores, and, you know, I get Dash makes a nice play, catches him off guard, but you're not facing any issues in the explosive department. You couldn't even bring the DMR on Flores?
Attackers have discovered the location of
Round 2. We break open the Kiba on Jacuzzi Wall. You break open that window, whether it's soft, whether it's castle barricade, whether there's got a Kiba barrier on it, so that way, if somebody's bandit tricking, they can't get away with it. But then Wildcard just put another Kiba on it,
10 seconds left.
and either Orgless don't destroy it, or if they do, they don't watch it. And that's worse. It is very basic things being messed up by Orgless at the moment. From the lineup to the implementation and the execution of the utility they bring.
I will say I like this lineup a little bit better. They've been forced away from the hard breaches, so they have to bring a lot of tin openers. And with it, they can bring some better operators. They can bring a Deimos. They can bring a Ying. These are all things that are going to add arrows, strings to their bow, should we say. I do worry. We haven't had a Dokubi call yet. A lot of drones down already. Oh, gosh. We got Bay on the top floor as well.
He's ratting even harder than he did before.
I know. He's really going for this, isn't he? Oh, if he finds one onto the Monty as they drop.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh, he's in a bit of a pickle now, though.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah. That's kind of deserved, honestly. I feel like he overstayed a little bit there. And it looks as though Orgless at least had a clue as to what was happening in that round. Now the question is, do Wildcard retreat? Or do they try and commit to this? Because Kansan's in a bit of a sticky spot as well.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. You got to respect Orgless for going for the full clear, but also you got to worry for Wildcard because, as you said, they are committing quite heavily. And Orgless read into it immediately. What an about face by Orgless. 3 really rough attacks. 3 really rough attacks. And immediately it's see the Scopos upstairs, take him down. See somebody's kitchen, open up the floor, cut off his rotate through that very angle he's dropping through. Now you find another player roaming back with all the cutoff angles found. This is not only just a general complete reversal of the trends, also an extremely strong reversal from their issues from round 1, Ollie. It was the roam that tripped them up before. And now it's dismantled without anybody losing a single bit of HP.
I mean, this is an open goal. This is a layup right now for Orgless.
Straight shot.
They do only have 1 drone, but they have 5 bodies and only a couple of players to kill. So they really ought to be able to coordinate something here. They've got full Candelas. They've got a Blitz.
Deathmark trackers.
Well, he's only got 1. They've 1 drone. I don't know if he's got anyone on the track.
That's true. That might be the case.
There was a Mozzie run, so there could have been a few pests disabled, let's say. Baby Shark might have a chance here.
Little off angle. Might find 2. No, Epic checks it. It's small, but just nice checking all those boxes. Could you ask for a better round coming out of the TAC timeout?
It'd have been nice if they must have had something to track.
Shut up.
They only had 1 drone.
I'm gonna get on a flight right now and slap you. Get over here.
See you in 10 hours.
I mean, it is rare that we see a team really just bounce back like that so holistically after a timeout.
So, I love the way that LFO approached that. You cannot take anything away from them. If we look at the lineup that Wildcard ran, you could call it a troll lineup. Like, that's a ranky lineup if ever I've seen one. We've got a Scopos, a Vigil, and a Mozzie. We've brought, like, the 2 most powerful defenders in the Goyo. But then we bring the other 3. And you're just kind of looking at it like, huh. Bit of a troll. Let's call it what it was.
5 seconds to insertion.
Well, you know, I like the more optimistic reading. How about that?
Look, LFO played the game that was in front of them. You can't take anything away from them. They did a great job. But I think the Wildcard just overcooked a little bit.
All right, perchance.
By
the way,
look at the night and day difference. By the way, they've got a clash this time. Like, they've gone from being not bored to super bored.
Right. Well, okay. They had a clash last time. Let's be fair.
Yeah, last time they defended the site, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I was referencing the previous round though. Like the previous round, they brought a troll lineup. This time, they've gone from being like troll to boring again.
So you said this. You said this time. I was like, okay, well, I'm all caught up now. I also was focused on the fact that we mentioned the hard breach ban. Orgless also just banned the bandit. They're like, okay, I can't say if we'll cover gym window or not. So let's just get those bandit batteries. Let's get them out of the picture. Let's not worry about it.
I hadn't noticed that. That's funny.
It is a fair ban though. Like, I'm joking, but it's a fair ban.
It really is. You know, if all you've got is 10
Especially the hard
openers, like, yeah, it's a fair ban. They do only have 1 left though. I'm unsure if they've actually used it on Jacuzzi yet or not?
God, 6 can openers. Jesus.
They've brought a lot. I mean, they've got a lot to do, though. This cash hold is horrible, especially when you've got a clash. Kansan played. Kansan, unironically, has been so quiet this whole day, by the way.
Ooh, C4 goes
He's
out.
1 and 4.
Oh,
Surely he finds one here.
gotta be 2 and 4. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
A little bit of a disrespect on the vertical angles, unfortunately. Fenn's thinking he found a gap that did not exist. And think of if you're at home, think about whenever you see this clear. Isn't it a give? Okay, Kansan, no. Let's hold up. Let's chill. We got 3 people on this problem. We got 3 defenders on this problem. Let's just wait. Let's hang out. C4 goes out, puts a lot of damage onto Bino. Dash taking down the red stairs player. Now the Monty falls. Flawless for a flawless? Not be the case. Kansan decides to get active. 3 and 5. He's not having it. Neither are Wildcard. A great reaction from LFO in the previous round, and Wildcard say, nice. We're going to turn up now.
Back to being bored.
Back to being bored.
And why
And
not?
you know
like,
what? I love it.
boring, like, so for anyone that's not like clued in, boring Siege is like the S tier of Siege. Like, it's so like, but it's called boring Siege because sometimes you just got to sit on your hands. Like, you just can't. You've just got to wait for the right moment. And for some people that are maybe a little bit hyper or a little bit, you know, can't sit still, that can be a bit boring. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
And it seems like everyone that I play with in ranked is one of those people as well. So we have coined the phrase boring Siege. However, it is extremely effective.
Nice!
So much
Good round,
so,
guys.
it was almost a flawless round there for Wildcard. Save 1 exit frag that was snagged just at the end, and their lead continues to grow. Something that really worries me is that of all the things that were banned, it was the bandit that was removed. We then didn't see the Jacuzzi breach pushed too much, if at all. It all went down in cash. They still didn't manage to affect anything on it, and they've still left an Azami up to deal with this Rafters push. And now they've got no hard breach, so they're going to have to use tin openers. So getting everything open is going to be even harder anyway, and it makes garage or construction take, you know, much more important. This is just going to be very difficult for Orgless, I think, regardless of what they've got. And they've got some good stuff. Let's not beat around the bush here. They've got the bees, they've got a DMR, and they have a Ying. So the Catwalk player should be in for a world of hurt here.
That's all I care about right now. I want to see this Catwalk player get pressured. That's all that matters to me at this moment in time. And if they can do that, I mean, they might still go down 5-1, but you know, at least for me, I feel a little more comfortable. Really solid game. Like, I know we talked about, obviously, Kansan not performing, but really solid game from everybody else on Wildcard at the moment. The level of confidence they've been playing with over the past couple days, I mean, if you didn't see the game yesterday, 7-2 over Envy with 5 attacking rounds on Skyscraper. I don't care what team you're playing, that's impressive. This is a rejuvenated-looking team that is eager to join the other 5 at the top of the standings and duke it out in playoffs to redeem themselves from that missed promise of their performance at Reload. Fumbling so much this stage. 5-1 just within their grasp. But so far it's been an uneventful round. Wildcard have had the time to get settled in.
Another Dokkaebi call there, going to get sent out by Kingsrow. Doesn't force much of a reaction, though. No immediate push off the back of it. They haven't gotten a kill off the back of it. Still just trying to establish themselves. Kansan's got a C4 ripped and ready right now. No one flicking his cameras. Although Bay is just going to jump on momentarily, so you can expect a call anytime soon, but the cue is going to be that breach getting sent onto the wall, and there it is. Oh, it's so beautiful when it pulls off.
It is. It is beautiful, but Dash has been down in bar for like a minute and a half. And he's not been droned. And if he has, they didn't respect him. We're just 1v1 solo clearing now. We had one really strong round from Orgless, and the rest have just been very weak. Wildcard have been playing well, don't get me wrong, and being very active, which does make Orgless' job a lot harder, let's be fair. Doing a lot of damage to that drone util, but, I mean, this is going to be another flawless, or another nigh flawless. If you reach the 5v1 threshold, and it's going to be a 5-1 for Wildcard. No doubt about it.
I feel like we need to add a line into our stat tracking software that gives you one of these almost flawless rounds that you often talk of.
Like a little asterisk.
Yeah, like it was nearly flawless. There was a really bad exit frag. LFO's troubles continue here, don't they? And you can blame the bans, you can blame whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it's Clubhouse. You've got to be able to play it. You have to be able to play it under any condition. And the only round that Orgless get away with was a certified, like, troll time, this is it, from Wildcard. There was no strategy. It was just roam hard. And Orgless punished it. And rightly so. But aside from that, if that's the only round that they can come away with, for a game with arguably the biggest stakes of the day, it is a shame to see it at a 5-1 scoreline right now as we enter the second half.
Nice. Good round, guys. Good half. Let's go.
Shout out to Spiker. Love that guy.
I love how Spiker's the only one we've had audio for as well.
He's a talker.
I don't know why that is. I'm sure other players talk in those like end of round clips that we see.
Oh, it's because I actually went into like the prod room and I cut all the cables linking Wildcard players' prods just because I only want Spiker on stream.
Right, understood.
Yeah.
There must be
Big
some
fan,
hefty
big fan.
cables.
Oh yeah, you would not believe. I had to get a chainsaw.
Do they just like trail the length and breadth of the US?
Yeah, it's like one of those like those cables they put under the ocean to like connect the internet.
Like the one we're using right now.
Yeah, exactly. The one we're using right now. I did that. Crazy nobody heard the chainsaw. Nobody tried to stop me. They're like, oh, that must be the wind. A lot of Scopos on Clubhouse today. 2 plays from Bay and 1 from Fens now. Bit tricky spot to transfer this Raptors position, but you've got some room to work with. But it's a loose roam on basement, and well, Ollie, we've seen those can turn around very quickly.
They really can. There is a very good operator selection from Wildcard, specifically designed at dealing with a roam game. You have a Blitz, Dokkaebi, and the Deimos. I don't think there's much more that you would ask for to clear a roam.
No.
That is pretty much the golden trifecta. Dash in with a quick drone of this top floor. He's going to call at least Master Bed as clear. Logi drop and start to work his way through. There's some Bs as well that are going to cover him. They're just going to play it inside a cache, and that C4 will land. Unfortunate for Baby Shark. Just bad timing there, I think. And a Dokkaebi call maybe coming in a bit too late.
Maybe a little too late. Kansan, the Dokkaebi, will make a late entrance into Garage. Flash goes out. Somehow the Valkyrie doesn't die. There we go. On the follow-up, Dash follows through. It is a bit dodgy. I think maybe a little bit lackluster intel on the actual true extent of that roam, but it works out. Wildcard make up for it, land a 4v3. Kansan,
yes.
Oh my god. What a cutoff.
Yeah,
Drops into oil pit, literally. Jobless behavior. He was 1-5 at one point.
That's why he's one of the top 5 rated players.
This guy's so good,
Unbelievable
man.
play. The game sense there to drop oil pit.
This guy used to be one of the best players on Sonics.
You just know that you're going to be catching him on the rotate back. That's such a beautiful play. I was really worried because there was a lack of soft breach here, but it isn't going to matter. There's only 2 bodies for him to find, and they've got a blitz.
The blitz is going to be so easy with this. Bees go out, try to clear blue, and the rest make sure Dash has an easy way in. There he goes into Arsenal. Tagged up just a little bit, quite heavily in fact, but he's not got the diffuser. Dash is just making space at the moment. Gotta be careful you don't drift too far away from everybody, but it's a 1v4. You can play spoiler. Bait it out a little bit. There's
Hello?
There we go. There's nothing Eddie can do there. Wildcard are behind Orgless in points, but they secured themselves at least 1. And they've got the tiebreak. Because it's win and you're in, Ollie. Just one more round of any kind. And they're through.
Win and you're in. Don't matter if it's overtime. Doesn't matter if it's regulation.
No. I can't imagine what Gabe is going to say on the desk when he comes back.
Honestly, he looks jacked today. Do you not just get the feeling that he's had like 10 coffees and he's like ready to go?
He's been amped. He's been waiting for this wildcard game.
He's full of it.
Well, he wasn't full of it about this game, I can tell you. I think we all thought, even, I imagine Gabe probably thought Orgless would put up a little bit more of a fight than this, but it has been just a trouncing. On the verge of one of the most dominant games of the stage. I mean, we've had 7-2s and we've had a 7-0. I actually don't think we've had a 7-1.
I don't think we have. I actually looked over this earlier because I was getting the Cloud9 stat.
No, we've not even had a 7-1. So this would be the second most dominant one-sided loss of the stage, and coming at the most important moment for both of these teams.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
New feed active.
Orgless have already used that tactical timeout as well. Leaves them with nowhere else to go. They have to solve this themselves. This roam game has been fairly unsuccessful. I would really be tempted for just a little bit of soft presence on the main stairs. Maybe someone hanging around over toward blue or Adam stairs and just call it a day and try and lean into some util, but looks like Orgless are going to firm it and try for this little roam again. There's a slightly different lineup being brought. There's no Dokkaebi this time. No Deimos either. You've still got the blitz. Dash can still move through with this drone at his feet. C4's ripped and ready. It's sent through.
Ooh.
Eddie is in a coffin right now.
Bet you wish you'd open that hatch.
If you're going to roam, at least open the hatch.
He even considered it earlier. He had the shotgun in hand. He looked at that hatch and he decided not to close it. Maybe on the bet that he wanted to rat and not give it away, not telegraph that position. But betting on Wildcard, not droning it or not clearing it properly after, to be fair, a little bit of a sloppy roam clear from Wildcard, but one that still resulted in a 4v3. That's such a big gamble. And it does not pay off. Wildcard with full top floor control. They can start moving down to the bottom floor. And there's no way Kixro would expect this angle.
Wildcard have got so much time as well because of how efficient they've been in that early round clear. C4 wasted there, the last one.
Damn. It damages Kixro.
It does more damage to Kixro than anybody else. I'd have been clutching on to that, trying to guarantee a kill with it. Diffuser can get juggled around. There's skeleton keys that can start to rip open the floor. We've still got 4 Candelas and an ability to open hatches.
Oh,
Wildcard just needs to go through the motions right now. A little bit of drone work, figure out locations of a few people. I mean, the Bees are doing a lot of that hard work for him. They can send a couple more in now and start to make his approach.
Yeah.
The Blitz charging through, that is the trigger.
That exactly is what it is. Valkyrie does push up. Ooh, that's a bit of a whiff by Baby Shark, unfortunately. Got to rotate up, but thankfully everything else is going so well for Wildcard. 7-1 in their grasp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's done. GG. Go next. Ladies and gentlemen, Bino might find one, but at the moment, it is looking like the deck is stacked against him because Wildcard are your final team into playoffs.
A team that had an amazing showing at Rio and one that I think a lot of people at home were expecting to come in with a big performance here in NAL. Well, they've really made us wait for it. They've made us work for it. They do finally secure that playoff spot. We will get to see them compete next week. But it was not a very good game to remember if you are on the side of LFO. We were expecting it to be a lot closer than that. But to come through as a 7-1, our second most decisive result of the stage so far, wasn't anything that we had in our bingo cards. I cannot wait to hear what our desk has to say about this one. We'll be back in just a few.
Wait, full cross. Pushing me.
What?
Gotcha.
50?
Moro. Yeah.
And then?
Nice!
Let's go,
Let's
guys.
fucking go!
Trust
Jake.
the stuff, guys. Good job, guys.
Let's go! Let's go!
God.
You do like it, Dash.
Wildcard are playoff bound, our 6th and final playoff team, and they do it in style. A 7-1 victory to close out their stage. We've got our Wildcard winners standing by. As always, we've got Spiker on the call with us. Dude, congrats on the win. You guys have made playoffs considering where you started this stage to be here now. What is that like for you?
It feels really good just because up until this week, I don't think we had played well in both games. Like this week we played very well in both of our last 2 games. We didn't play great in the OXG game, but like it feels like we everybody played well. We were working together well as a team. Like all the puzzle pieces just came together these last 2 games. And I mean, the team like these guys went OT with M8 yesterday. You know, these guys are not a bad team, so it feels really good.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you guys really displayed. I mean, took it off the table. Even if Cloud9 won in the last one, I mean, that was such a dominant performance from you guys. Now you're going to be going into playoffs, potentially playing against M80 or SSG. Hopefully, we're going to see the same level of play. But is there a specific play style of one of those 2 teams that you're going to be looking forward to playing?
I mean, they play pretty similarly. Especially on attack, they play pretty similar. We have better results, as a core against SSG. Normally we play very well against those guys, so if I had to pick, I'd say I'd rather play SSG just because of previous results. But, we scrimmed both of them so much since we played them, so, no matter what, both teams are going to be knowing what each team is doing, so it'll just be whoever shows up better on the day.
Well, Spiker, congratulations on clinching playoffs. I want to ask you, why Clubhouse? Why allow Clubhouse? Why let Orgless, a brand new team where you could maybe exploit them on other maps? Why Clubhouse?
I mean, we only played it twice before against Falcons and DZ, both 2 of the better club teams in the world, I would say. And so we know it's a good map for us, but I think since people look on paper, we lost it twice. They don't think we're great at it. So we kind of haven't, not necessarily hiding it, but we knew we could beat most teams on it if it just wasn't one of the better teams. And they looked very strong on Cafe yesterday, and we've played the hell out of Cafe recently. So we wanted a little break from that so we can, we'll spend the next week, changing some stuff on Cafe and then showing a new Cafe next time we play it, hopefully.
All right, well, that got my answer.
Yeah, Spiker. Simple as that. You guys make playoffs. We don't have much more to say other than to ask, what is the next 3 days going to look like for you guys? It is what? Saturday now. We've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to prep. Wednesday, playoffs begin. Is it going to be an intensive boot camp? Are you going to be celebrating for the next 24 hours? What is that approach going into Wednesday?
Let me check my calendar. We have scrims tomorrow at 11 a.m., so it's looking like we got
what about the next
however
day?
Many hours off, but next day, I think we got a double. Look at my scrim scheduler on the background now.
What about the day after that?
Yeah, tell us every single hour between now and then.
It's looking like, I don't know, it's looking like it's going to be double scrims every day.
Oh, let's go,
That's
you
from
guys.
what I can tell, so we're going to put the work in.
Amazing, amazing. Well, playoffs on the horizon. A good one to close out the group stage, Spiker. So congratulations, and we'll see you in playoffs.
All right, thanks.
Big win for Wildcard. 7-1 Lax. They close it out in style.
Listen, before we talk about them closing out, I just got to address you, Lynx. I got to address what you said, that I couldn't make my way around a microwave because I was hyping up Wildcard. I just want to say this. I'll be the bigger person here. I'm not going to roast you into oblivion, but there's a reason why I was a player, and you were watching me all these years, lollipop in hand and the little propeller cap on. That's all I'm going to say. And then we can talk about Wildcard. I mean, it was a dominant performance. I said that they needed to have one blowout of a game. They needed another statement game after their game yesterday, and I would say a 7-1 was very convincing and that much needed to give them the more confidence going into playoffs and obviously to secure and lock themselves into playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you were definitely right. The Wildcard defenses were too much for LFO to break apart. They couldn't get those opening kills. They couldn't be able to break open one of these doors for Wildcard. There was no real opening to get those opening kills, which is a shame because, we talked about LFO. Their defenses could have looked good, but, we didn't really get to that far. And when it came to their attacks, the big players, we didn't really see much out of them either. So it's a shame. I mean, they did look good coming into the Super Week, but alas.
I still want to give them praise. Granted, yes, the 7-1 definitely was not the performance that I thought they were going to have, but I still want to give them the praise for yesterday's and the game before that. It was nothing but sheer performance and just keeping up with themselves and improving.
Well, all of our teams now, our top 6 for playoffs are locked in. One thing that's not locked in is our seeding. SSG still have a chance to leapfrog M80 and take that 3rd seed. Can be pretty significant in the first round of the playoffs. We'll find how they fare against DZ coming up next.